matter.
Hello and welcome to the Men and Women of Conrad, and we're going to be talking to you today about random facts about women. Sternhagen, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Gabe. Although lots of things have changed for women, one thing that seems to remain the same is the fact that most women want to be married someday in their life. Approximately all women in the U.S. have been married at least once by the age of 55. In 2010, in 158 countries, the minimum legal age to marry without parental consent was 18 years or older. In the other 29 countries, the minimum legal age for marriage for women was below 18. In addition, in 146 countries, girls younger than 18 could marry with parental consent or approval, and in 52 of them, girls under 15 could marry with parental consent.
Thank you, Emma.
You're welcome.
Moving on to education, let's talk with Mackenzie Schleichman.
Thank you, Gabe. 29.9 million women, 25 and older, with a bachelor's degree or more education in 2009, higher than corresponding numbers for men, 28.7 million. Women had a larger share of high school diplomas as well as an associate, bachelor's, and master's degree. More men than women had a professional or doctoral degree. The highest IQ ever recorded on a standard test, both belong to women.
Excuse me. Thank you, Mackenzie. Moving on to population, which is more important than education. Ernie, take it away.
Out of 154.7 million women in the U.S., 83 of them are mothers. Alabama has the highest population of women in a state of 52%, and Alaska at least with 48%. In 2009, 59% of the females 16 and older participated in the labor force, which is about 72 million women. Out of all the land, women only own 1% of it. On average, women live to 69 years of age. The average age for a woman's first marriage is 25 years old, and average size for a family is of 2 children. In September 2008, there were 197,900 women in active duty, and that made up 14% of the armed forces. In 2009, there were 1.5 million women veterans. At the age of 85 and older, there were more than twice as many women as men.
Thank you, David. Now, moving on to the man with the plunger. Dion, let's hear your facts.
Images in the media often portray Middle Eastern women as religious, conservative, oppressed, swathed in veils, lacking any meaningful personal freedoms. It's true, and some women fit into this category, but it is also true that throughout history there have been many great women writers, politicians, intellectuals, and religious figures. Except for the Deep South region, U.S. women are slightly more likely to vote Democratic than Republicans. Recent polls have indicated that 41% of women identify as Democrats, while only 25% of women identify as Republicans, and 26% as independents, while 32% of men identify as Democrats, 28% as Republicans, and 34% as independents. Women's issues such as abortion and health care access hold the potential of swaying women to vote Democratic rather than for Republican social conservatives.
Thank you, Dion. Now to the most important person of all, myself, Edgar Wilhelm. Did you guys know that over 500,000 women die in childbirth every year in Africa and Asia because of the lack of skilled midwives, obstructed labors, and unsafe abortions? Pregnant women in Africa are especially vulnerable to malaria because of the low immunity and little knowledge and means to prevent it. Approximately 1 in 5 women in the world reports being sexually abused before the age of 15. Sexual abuse has been reported up to 80,000 times a year, but unreported instances are far greater because the children are afraid to tell anyone what has happened. Up to 40% of girls give birth before they are 14. Most of these result in obstructed labor because their bodies haven't fully developed yet. Depression is the most common cause of disability in women, and almost 25% of women will experience severe depression at some point in their lives. Out of 50 million people around the world who are affected by violent conflicts and civil wars and disasters, 80% of these are women and children. Women have represented 3/4 of the population between the ages of 15 and 24 living with HIV in Africa. Although women are biologically more vulnerable to HIV, the main factors behind this disparity are social and economic.
Thank you, Gabe.
Thank you, Emma.
So our point is that women have come a long way in today's society.
And they've been knocking on the glass window for quite some time and have nearly broke through it many times.